Hello everyone, my name is Koren Wiskman, and with Scrapbook.com I'd like to wish everyone a happy World Card Making Day. Hello everyone, and welcome to another card making video. Today I am playing with some goodies that I ordered from Scrapbook.com. I've got the Avery Elle Santa Bear stamp set, and it features an adorable bear that's dressed up like Santa Claus, a fox, a hedgehog, a bunny, and a little birdie with an adorable little Santa hat on. It also has some sentiments like ho ho ho, have a very happy holiday, have you been good this year? Some snow, some snowballs. Oh, I love these little like hash marks that are like snow. And may all your Christmas wishes come true. It also has coordinating dies available. I also got a steel die that is snow scene die. It basically cuts out like a wonky circle, and it has some snowflakes cut into it. I also picked up Avery Elle's new clear shimmer spray. It's not, I don't know what they mean by clear, but it does have an iridescent shimmer in it. Okay, so I tested it immediately because I had to play. I don't know if it's going to pick up on camera, but there is an iridescent color to it. I typically like to use Imagine Crafts Sparkle, and on this other side here, that is Sparkle. This side is the clear shimmer spray, and I sprayed them both 3 times. So you can kind of see the amount of shimmer that this gives off. It's pretty cool, so let's play. I have a piece of heavyweight white cardstock cut to 3.5 by 4 3/4. I'm going to use that Avery Elle Snow Scene die to cut an aperture into it. So even though this die is super cool and it has all of those snow pieces cut into it, I just really wanted the wonky circle aperture. I'm sure I'll find another card to use this die on this Christmas season. Once I figure out how I want my images sort of laid out, I start working on my background. I'm taking an acrylic block and some of the images of the hashes and circles like that make up the snow, and I'm stamping that with an clear embossing ink in the background. I have both of these stamps on opposite ends of the acrylic block, and I'm just taking turns stamping the circles or stamping the hash marks, and all the while trying to make sure that I'm staying within the confines of my aperture. Once I feel like I have enough snow stamped in my background, I'm using a white embossing powder to heat emboss the snow in the background. Once I get the powder on there, it really helps. You can see it a lot better. I tend to heat the back of my project before I heat the front of it. That's just how I emboss. I feel like it blows less of the embossing powder off if you heat it up from behind first. I don't know, I could be crazy, but that's just what I think. I'm taking some of Ranger's Distress Oxides in Evergreen Bough and Cracked Pistachio and a blender brush by Tonic Studios, and I'm inking around the outside of my panel, leaving the center portion that nice sea glass color of the cardstock, but I want to darken it up on the outside edges. And these two colors are helping me maintain that color, but give it a little bit more pizzazz. Here's where the real pizzazz came in. I used Hickory smoke. It wasn't dark enough for me. Wasn't quite black soot, but the Hickory smoke did the job, and it really darkened up those edges for me. I love for my backgrounds to shine, so I'm adding my background to my splat box and I'm shaking up that Avery Elle clear shimmer spray. And I was, let's say, generous, very generous with the spraying. But I love how it looks, and I really don't think the iridescent color to the shimmer changes the color much at all. So while I waited for that bad boy to dry, I took some Memento Tuxedo black ink and stamped some of the images from the Santa Bear stamp set on that same heavyweight white cardstock. This is alcohol marker friendly ink, and that's why I'm using it today. I'm coloring my images with Copic markers. If you do not enjoy watching someone color, please feel free to skip ahead. This part can be boring, but I do have a Copic color map showing you all the markers that I used on my images today. It doesn't really seem to matter what coloring medium that I'm using, I tend to go and start with the darkest color. And I work that into the areas that in the image, to me, are the darkest, the most shady spots. The areas up under his face or under his ear where you know a body is going to naturally have shadow. If something is over top of it, whatever's beneath it is probably going to be in shadow, right? So that's kind of what I look at when I look at the image. I start in those shadowy areas and then I draw the color out to the highlighted areas. That helps me shade an image and give it life. I am not a colorist. I am self-taught. So when it comes to light sources, I am not very knowledgeable at that. I have taken several coloring classes, but I don't want to think too much when I sit down to create. I just want to color. So I don't really care about a light source. I just want my image to have life. And thinking about the image in this way really helps bring the image to life. It gives it contrast and it doesn't feel so flat. I'm adding a little bit of shading to the beard and to the brim of the hat to make it look fluffy, and all I did was just added a little bit of the cool gray markers to make it appear as though it's a softer texture. The same thing goes for the log that he's sitting on and the leaves that I'm coloring right now. Like the part under his bum is going to be darker than the area that's sticking out and maybe getting a little bit more light. That's the only way, it's the only thing I think about when I'm coloring. I do not think that the sun is coming from the upper right and therefore blah, blah, blah. I don't think that way. So if it appears that way, it's just by default because I'm not trying to. Once all of my images are colored in a manner that is acceptable to me, I'm using the coordinating dies and my Spellbinders platinum die cutting machine to cut them out. I just tape them down so they don't move anywhere and run them through the machine. And then I don't have to worry about fussy cutting them, which I historically do not like. I wanted a little bit blacker sentiment for the ho ho ho, so I'm using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. This is a pigment ink and it's just a little bit darker and more vibrant than the Memento ink. This is not alcohol marker friendly, so don't use this and then use your alcohol markers. I have a scrap piece of that sea glass colored cardstock and I'm prepping it with my powder bag and stamping the sentiment, "Have you been good this year?" With the same embossing ink, and I'm using white embossing powder to heat emboss it the same as I did before. Just as I did with the snow, I heated the back and then the front until it was completely melted. I did this for both sentiments. The other is on a craft cardstock and it says, "Have a berry happy holiday." Now that I've collected all of the images and sentiments for my card, now it's time to put it all together. I'm using my Fiskars Wire Guide paper trimmer to cut the sentiments into very thin strips. This tree-shaped paper clip will hold my sentiments together and make it super easy to attach them to my card. I've used 9 million tiny foam squares to pop up this panel onto the background, and this is my not amused face. I wish I hadn't done that. Don't do that. Use larger pieces. It worked though, and it worked fabulously. I popped the panel up onto the background and then attached it to my card base using double-sided tear tape adhesive. Those tiny foam squares did actually save me when it came to attaching my tiny images. The sentiment strips did get double the foam tape to make it over the other images. But that's it. That's my card. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you for celebrating World Card Making Day with me and Scrapbook.com. Find me on social media. I love interacting with you there. And until next time.